Hello and welcome to another episode of Sitna Conversations. And as you well know, we have been having a collaboration with the Brain and Mind Medical Center, having conversations around mental health. We've spoken to quite a number of professionals and we've had enlightening conversations with them. But today, we're going to have a conversation with Abiba from the Ark Foundation. And Abiba is a person who's helping women who have gone through abuse, try to find healing, try to find make sense of their situation and move forward and have a healthier mental health, enjoying life as much as they can. So welcome to the show and hi Abiba.
Hello, Kwame.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you too?
I'm doing very well. How are you feeling?
I'm okay.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. So you help other people or other women heal from their abuse and other violent situations they might have gone through that has affected their mental health with the Ark Foundation. Would you like to tell us a little bit of how you ended up with Ark Foundation and in this situation?
Yeah. Personally, I love to work with women and children a lot, and I was a business student, but I decided to enroll into social work to study social work as a professional social worker.
Yeah.
And along the line, I had to go and do my fieldwork attachment with an organization. I searched for organizations that were into abuse, and Ark Foundation came up. So I decided to go there. And ever since, I've been with them. Working with Ark Foundation has actually been a learning experience to already what I've experienced in my life. Our society, especially the Ghanaian society or where I come from, we don't usually recognize abuse when it's happening to us. We live through it and then we are hoping that daily this will be over and we don't have people to talk to.
Is this something you yourself have gone through?
Yes, it's something I've experienced and I didn't really know it was abuse. And sometimes I'll be there with questions in my head. What is happening? I thought I was supposed to enjoy my marriage or have fun. But
so you experienced abuse in your marriage?
Yeah, I would say.
What form did it come in?
In the form of psychological and sometimes physical.
Sometimes physical.
Yes, and it wasn't a pleasant thing. I didn't really want to talk about it. So basically, I kept it to myself. I would cry at night, but one day I just woke up and I decided to talk to a friend. Fortunately, she had a background in social work. And she was like, you don't have to take it if you don't want to. And coming from the north is difficult to just walk out of your marriage and all that. But I was bold.
How did your immediate society or community feel about walking out of your marriage? How did your partner at the time, did you have a conversation with him? Did you just leave? Was there a possibility of resolution from his side? What was the journey like?
It was challenging because we all didn't want to accept that each of us had a role to play in what was going on. Everybody kept blaming the other, and the family at a point got tired of the situation and said, okay, we should separate. So we separated for 5 years and it still didn't work out. So we decided to go our separate ways. I've been lucky. I have family and friends who support me through it all. They've been there. Even though sometimes they are not happy about it, they would wish I had stayed, maybe would have worked it out. But today, myself and the man, we have a very lovely relationship, even though we are no more together.
Would you know if he has had help in working on his issues?
I haven't talked to him about that, but I have sought help, so I'm doing fine. And once I am healed, it's easier to make conversations without hatred or bitterness in my heart.
That's incredible. So you help other women seek this help for themselves and heal. How has it been so far?
Considering what I have been through, it wasn't easy. And so when people come to us, we don't usually judge them. We listen to their stories, and based on whatever they tell us, we're able to assess their situation and then make an informed decision, considering the kind of help we give them.
What kind of women usually come to the Ark Foundation?
So the Ark Foundation is for every group of people, like in corporate world, people who are not in the corporate world as well. And it would interest you to know that a lot of people in our society are going through abuse and they don't want to talk about it. And one basic principle we work with at Ark Foundation is the principle of confidentiality. So we have all different kinds of women working to us. And when they come to us, we assure them of their confidentiality. We do not share their stories. Even when we share their stories, we do not use their real names. And we take it from there.
My question I want to ask is a bit technical in a way. What percentage, like what's the predominant number in terms of the demographic, the type of women that come? Is it women from a certain part of the country, or they fall within a certain demographic, like they are mostly from the villages, or you have more modern relationship issues coming up more? Which one is usually highest?
In terms of percentages, would say it's equal, because we have both people who are coming from rural communities and we have people from the urban centers. So we wouldn't really say high percentages will be accredited to the urban center women, but we have from both sides. And we work with DOFSU as well. So majority of our cases are referred to us from DOFSU and Social Welfare, Department of Social Welfare. And so they bring different categories of people to us.
Okay, what do you do for these women?
So we have three, let me say, when we talk about mental health, we have three different sections that we deal with them. So we have those who report to our centers daily. And then when they come to us, they just seek for psychological counseling. So we have psychologists at our center, we have social workers, and then we have administrators who are also there. And so at a point in time, every one of these people engage them based on the level of assessment. So for instance, somebody comes with probably economic abuse, maybe in her marriage or her...
Economic abuse?
Yes, so we have a situation where a woman is married to a man, and then the man says, you don't have to work. You are not supposed to work. You have to stay at home and take care of the children.
That is considered abuse?
Yes, that's an abuse. So you tell this person not to work, and at the end of the day, you ration whatever thing you are supposed to give to her. For instance, I want to cook. I have to come to you, and then you question me basically what I have to put together to make that meal. And so based on what I tell you, it's the amount of money you give me. Whatever I need, I have to come to you, which is not supposed to be so.
So a lot of women are probably in this situation and actually don't consider it abuse. They don't know.
Yes, they don't know that it's abuse. Unless you decide from your perspective that I don't want to work, I want to stay at home. But if you are forced or asked not to work,
from
where
your
you have,
partner,
yes,
from the beginning.
From your partner, it's an abuse. And we also have some people who are going through physical abuse. With the physical abuse, it starts with nagging, and usually we don't call it nagging, questioning. You ask the person questions and then they get irritated. They tell you, why are you asking me this? Why are you asking me that? And it turns into a heated argument before you realize physical exchange. And then if the receiving partner, which usually happens to be the woman, is not too strong, the man hits her. And because she doesn't want to talk about it, she doesn't have a place to go to, she keeps it to herself. She comes out and then she begins to cover up. Either she's wearing makeup, she's wearing spectacles, and she's covering up. When they ask her why, she says, oh, I accidentally bumped my head into something. And when they come to us and we start the conversation, they reveal a lot to us. They share their pain, they share their stories, and we realize that they're really going through a lot. And we take it up from there. And such people too, some of them, within 2 sessions, they are okay. Some too need accommodation. So the Ark Foundation actually has the only shelter in Ghana for abused women and children. And If you need shelter, we keep you there. And whilst you are in our care, depending on what you were doing, if you were in a corporate world, we'll find a way. We liaise with the police, and then we find protection for you. Then you can continue whatever you are doing. If you're not working, we have skills sessions, and then therapeutic sections that we engage you in. We talk to you. If you want to learn a skill at the shelter, we take you through that, and then you engage yourself until such a period that you are okay, and then we reintegrate you back into the society. Either we find you a place, or if we're able to work on a mediation with your partner, then you can go back.
Do you encourage mediation? Because if I feel that if a partner has physically abused their partner, that for me, it's grounds for never going back.
So the basic principle about social work is that you don't force people to make certain decisions. You can help them to see what their situation is. But if I decide that I want to go back, I can't force you to make that decision for you. So you have people where you can even take their partner to the court, and then along the line they say, I want to drop the case. So you cannot force the person to do that.
Okay. In such a situation, if the person goes and the thing happens again and they come back, how do you deal?
So now what we do is that we go into the communities to educate people.
Yeah.
So that they know forms of abuses, types of abuses, the people who abuse us, how it comes, what you can do about it. So sometimes you live in an environment where you might not be the person involved in the abuse, but you can see. And so when you see these things, you're able to detect, and you're able to engage the partner or the person who is going through this abuse. And when you are doing this, you're also helping. So in such cases, the people who are going through it are aware, and then they make these decisions for themselves. But if you are not able to do this, along the line, they think about what the general society is going to say about their situation, and they don't want to make those decisions, which makes it a little difficult for you, the social worker, to continue with your work.
So in such situations, how do you find the solution in such situations?
We still engage the person through counseling until such a time that they come to terms with the reality and they accept it. You don't coerce them. You just let them see the limelight for themselves.
Okay. You mentioned economic abuse. You mentioned physical abuse.
We have sexual abuse as well.
From the partners?
Yes.
Right.
This is something marriage comes with sometimes. Because I am married to you, I feel entitled that every time I feel like having sex with my partner, it means I have to get my way. But there are days people are not in the mood. People might not be up for it. Yeah. You should understand them. They are your partners. So if I'm going through a situation or a moment in my life and you cannot understand and you want to force your way with me, I don't think it is acceptable. And we should all understand that each and everyone has their own personal moments where they want to be left alone. If you are an understanding partner, you should be able to engage your partner. Talk to your partner. Let them understand that, oh, I have needs, but you don't have to force yourself on it. And most of the times we have this. And with the sexual abuse, sometimes it turns even into physical.
That's what I was asking. Yes. Does it often turn to physical?
Most often we find that it turns into physical. And sometimes it even extends to the children. You see, the partner extends these frustrations onto their children. And we have had situations where the woman couldn't take it any longer and she packed out. And the man has to continue with his daughter. And these are the issues, very painful ones that you cannot begin to talk about.
But he transferred his sexual frustrations onto his
daughter. And these are issues that are happening. And at the end of the day, the cycle of abuse continues. So what you have done to this child, you can just imagine.
Do you work on having these men arrested?
Yes, but we don't do that by ourselves. So that is why we work with DOFSU, social welfare, and the court as well, SHRAJ, legal aid. We work with all these partners. So they deal with the criminal aspects, and then we take it from the social aspect.
So economic abuse, Physical abuse,
abuse.
sexual abuse. Is there emotional?
Emotional is there too. Yeah.
Well,
So
I think that one might be the trickiest one because sometimes you don't even see it if you're not sure that the person is
yeah.
playing with your mind or your emotions or abusing you in that sense. So how does one come to the realization that you're being emotionally abused? What are some of the signs they should look out for?
Yeah, so with our mental health issues, it's very tricky, like you're saying. So you have people who gaslight you. Sometimes they put up certain behaviors, and when you begin to talk or question them, they turn it on you. They begin to project certain things that are in them. They come with blame issues. Oh, I did this for you, and I did this for you. Why are you saying this? When was the last time you did? So instead of accepting that it's their fault, they rather turn everything on you. And sometimes with your appearance, they begin to question you. Oh, why are you wearing this dress? Why are you dressed like this? Don't go here. Don't do this. They are emotionally abusing you. They cut you all from your friends. They tell you, don't go out with your friends. Don't do this. They stop you from every social activity out there. And they want to keep you in the house. They want to control you. It's happened to both men and women. But the statistics show that women face that.
Go through it more.
Yes, a lot.
Okay. I think I'm going to wrap up the conversation. I would want you to just go over some of these things that we've already talked about. And if somebody's watching this video, where are you? Where can they find you? Who should they talk to first? What is, for example, the first aid before they get to you? Do they even need first aid before they get to you? First aid, I mean by talking to somebody before coming to you. If somebody's watching this and they feel that, okay, they might be in such a situation, how do they go about it?
Okay. So our mental health state is very important to us, especially we women. If you're not mentally stable, you will not be able to raise your family, you will not be able to cater for yourself. And caring for yourself is very important. Yeah. If you're in a relationship where you find that your husband or your spouse is abusing you physically, emotionally, sexually, economically, you should seek help. You can start by going to social welfare. Social welfare is in every district or every municipality. You can find them there. And when you go there, they can refer you to the next step. Or you look for Ark Foundation, which is located at Hachu, Queen Street, around the Ayarga side.
Yeah.
So when you come to us, we have a shelter for you. We have counseling sections for you. We have skills training for you. We empower you to understand what is happening to you. And then we also educate you to go back to your communities and then educate everybody. And the most important thing is to know the signs, understand them, know who to talk to. Sometimes you might be talking to the enemy. Sometimes you might be feeding somebody with information and they take this information back to your partners and then you find yourself in more problems.
So also be careful with who you talk to.
Yes, you need to be careful with who you share your personal information with. Always talk to a professional. And today there are countless number of places that you can go to, like the Ark Foundation.
Or the Brain and Mind Medical Center. Find their number, call somebody. I wanted to ask this, I think I forgot while we were having a conversation. How do you deal with religious interference? I think social, religious, and cultural interferences, because we are raised, in a certain way, and then if you add the religious parts, then it's even worse. How do you deal with people who, or how do you deal with interferences from that side? As for this, or how does?
Yeah. So back in the days, people would say women advocates were trying to destroy relationships. They were trying to break marriages, but that is not it. We are just empowering us to understand that abuse is not okay. And it's not okay to take it and say, oh, I am okay. No, it is always okay to accept that whatever I'm going through is not right and I need to break from that cycle. And with religious backgrounds, so like I mentioned that we go to the communities. So we engage stakeholders in our communities. We educate them to understand that abuse is not okay. It's not from, the Bible does not say it. Islam doesn't say it, and traditional religion too doesn't say it. Beating or abusing your partner is not okay. And you helping your partner doesn't make you less of a human being. It makes you an equal partner. sharing and helping in household chores, it's fantastic. You would enjoy it, but trying to always be on top or control your partner would always make you feel less and unhappy. And for instance, I'm a Muslim, and working with Ark Foundation, I've seen different people come in there. Some try to settle it at home and say our religion says no, but they come to Ark Foundation, they realize that no, even the religion does not say it doesn't okay it to abuse your partner. And so we still encourage going to the communities to talk to everybody. So when they come to us, they understand that it is not from their religious perspective or their culture. No culture would say abuse your partner. And no religion will stand and watch you and say abuse your partner. It is not okay to do that.
Thank you very much, Abiba. Thank you for speaking to us. If you're watching this video, you can find more information in the description box. Reach out to the Brain and Mind Medical Center or the Ark Foundation if any of the things that you heard Abiba talk about resonate with you and you feel like you need someone to talk to. We'll catch you in the next video.
Thank you.